Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Time!
Three on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Taylor's gone. Goodbye. Touchdown, Indy. Woo! IU. America. They got a football team now.
Pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now, here's Jim Coyle.
Yes. Hey, Thursday. Happy Thursday. Glad to be here. Glad to have you along. Thanks for joining me on this Thursday. Hope your week's going well. About through it, man. And not only that, we've got NCAA games back tonight and great ones at that. Changes to talk about in college football. NBA looking at the expansion. Major League Baseball, big change for them coming. Plenty more. Chris Mack, hired by South Florida from Charleston, where he replaced Pat Kelsey, who went to Louisville. Chris Mack was the former Louisville coach, also a former Xavier coach, but funny. As the world turns, college basketball continues to become a soap opera, man. It's nuts. But, another elevation there. But we'll see more because the big buzz right now is North Carolina, that job. Huge job. Who's gonna fill their shoes? Hubert Davis let go, and the funny thing is all the speculation is rampant. Unlike when Indiana's opening was happening, boy, everybody's got every top name. Not that top names weren't thrown about. You got guys left and right because it's tournament time. But Tommy Lloyd, one of the guy that has possibly the top team in the country, has to address speculation. Why? I don't understand why people would think that he would want to leave Arizona, beautiful place to live, where they've had uber success, where he's got success going. They've won national titles before. This is not some bump in the road place. Why? I don't understand why people think North Carolina is the end-all be-all. Yeah, they've had success, but it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. What happened in the past? Arizona's won in the past. It's been a while, but they've been known as a very high-profile basketball program for quite some time. I don't see the. I don't see. I see that as a lateral move. I'll be honest with you. I mean, for a guy like Tommy Lloyd, TJ Otzelberger, also. Now that's one that I could see people saying, "Hey, Iowa State, he's got them rolling," but it's not North Carolina. Let's be honest. But he's already shot down those reports linking him to other jobs, including North Carolina. He's thrilled to be the coach of the Cyclone and looks forward to future success in Ames. Now, we've heard coaches say that before. Not saying that about TJ, but number two Iowa State takes on number 6 seed Tennessee this week in the NCAA tournament. Meanwhile, Tommy Lloyd and his number 1 Arizona Wildcats are my pick to win it all. Bill Self denies retirement rumors as bad information. Well, he's the one that started the damn bad information. It was his quote that directly talked about that. Goofball. What a goofball. I knew he was coming back. I figured he was coming back unless there was an absolute health reason. So, Iowa players got fired up. Bennett Sturt said head coach Ben McCollum's screaming match with Florida's Todd Golden in the second round of the NCAA tournament gave the Hawkeyes a boost of confidence that they'll carry into the Sweet 16 matchup against Big Ten rival Nebraska in Houston on Thursday. And I can see where a team like that needs that, man. They need everything they can get. They're outmatched, but playing well and well enough to beat the number 1 and defending national champion Florida Gators. Let's see DraftKings has been using March Madness and other familiar terms to refer to the NCAA tournament for more than 5 years. Well, first of all, CBS or the NCAA did not create the term March Madness. Anyway. So this has been going on and has the legal right to do so, the sportsbook said in a court filing Wednesday in response to a complaint filed by the NCAA. The NCAA is seeking an emergency temporary restraining order. The complaint for trademark infringement filed and asked them to stop using March Madness, Final Four, Elite Eight, and Sweet 16 as variations of those terms to promote his business. Well, first of all, I'd first like to know, had they ever been used by anybody else besides the NCAA? Yes. I don't think they created any of these, to be honest with you. I think that they were nicknames that came up along the way that they latched onto, but we'll see. No trademark gives any organization the right to monopolize the language fans, players, journalists, and sports books use every day to accurately refer to college basketball tournaments, the company said in a statement. And we'll see how that rolls out. We've got to take a break. Coach Griff's going to join us next. Plenty of football to talk about. Football practice opens today. Today for Indiana, for the reigning and defending national champion Indiana Hoosiers. Lots more coming up. Glad to have you with us. Back with more right after these messages.
Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on The Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemoreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage, and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
Bored, Bloomington? Dave & Buster's can fix that. Eat and drink your way through our all-new menu. Play half-price games every Sunday through Thursday. Watch all your team's wins on a 40-foot screen and 30 HD TVs. And level all up with the high-flying human crane that puts you in the game. Private game suites, our exclusive arena, and more. Only at Dave & Buster's on 731 South College Mall Road.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Jim Coyle with you as always. It's a Thursday, and the NCAA tournament has returned, but also it is the opening of spring football camp for the Indiana Hoosiers, your reigning national champions, no less. First time to get a look at guys like Josh Hoover and many, many others. Unfortunately, I couldn't be out there. Timing does not work out. It kind of stinks, but we'll get to talk. I'll get to make it out to talk to a lot of the guys. So, but just looking forward to. I know it's year 3, and it's hard to believe this is year 3 of the Cignetti era, people. Well, I guess we're still in. Really, I guess we're still in parts of year 2, but Their calendar of year 3 is starts today.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it actually started at the end as soon as they won the national championship. But getting after it, man. They've been not only that, Coach. They've got between now and like mid-January, 2.5 months, nearly 60 prospects coming in to visit. As well. So it's there is so much more that goes on during football than other sports. It's nuts. And a head coach in football, if you wonder why they make so much more money, they got way more to do.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of distractions at this time of year when you start spring practice and stuff, because you're going to have a multitude of prospects rolling through. The 27 class and 28 class will be coming through in droves here over the next 2 or 3 weeks. And a lot of great players will be on campus, and a very big opportunity for Indiana to potentially lock up a few of those big time players. But it is a very distracting period of time. And again, this goes back to the organizational setup. Is now they've got the recruiting department that probably handles 95% of these spring visitors, and who's going to be coming in and who is, the person that needs to see Coach Cignetti the most and things of that magnitude. So, but this is where the organizational aspect of a college football program is so vitally important. And I do think that's the one thing that Sig has these ducks in a row with, is how he structures what he needs to have to support him and the assistant coaches so that they can focus on football, but at the same time have a backup in terms of player availability, in terms of recruiting. So this will be a big day today. There's a lot of big kids coming on campus, and it's the first day of that spring ball, so it'll be a very high energy day there at Bloomington.
And while it is the first day, it's not the first day that these guys have been doing things together. Josh Hoover has been throwing with guys. I mean, but it's the first day that they're getting together as this large of a group, and now you start to put pieces together at the same time. That's the difference.
Yeah, and this is the time of year where they take the time to go through their installation and make sure that people are on the same page. This is the time that Coach Cignetti will say a quarterback that is new to the system will struggle with the aspect of the offense. So I'm sure Josh Hoover will, have need more practices to get himself acclimated to the offense and the way things roll here with Coach Shanahan and, of course, Coach Cignetti. And it's a big time for a guy like Grant Wilson, Jacob Bell, those two guys that have been around and understand the system, because right now, outside of Josh Hoover, they've got to find a legit, true backup.
Well,
which I do.
There's my question to you. This is a mystery. This is the only mysterious part, but I don't think normally it's a mystery, thinking there may not be an answer. Well, we know that's first of all, Curt Cignetti's involved, so there's an answer. There's a plan. We just don't know what that plan is. That's all. Is Tyler Cherry ready to go? I mean, because we don't hear much about him, and they didn't pick up another quarterback like I thought that they were going to pick up another quarterback out of the portal, to be honest with you, for a backup. But at the same time, you can't do that. You can, but when you do that, and in this short period of time, they've already given the indication that, hey man, if you want to start at Indiana, you better have starting experience, because we ain't starting no damn rookies unless you are some phenom that comes along. And I get it. Well, people will then complain, well, how you going to recruit? Dude, do you really have to recruit anymore? No, you don't have to. So the goal is to have the best players at every position, period. How you get to that point, I don't think you should give a rat's butt, personally, as long as they're there and consistently can get there. And I don't think that Curt Cignetti has shown any problems with being able to consistently do anything. Meaning everything he does is successful on a consistent basis. So yeah, it's different, but it does. I do wonder, when a freshman quarterback comes to Indiana, what their expectations are, because the further we go, the further you'll see. Ain't starting no rookies, bro. You got no starting experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a philosophy that
hence, and not to interrupt, but hence the reason for Alberto's transfer.
Yeah, right. Exactly correct. I mean, you take Alberto's scenario. Here's a kid that's been here for a couple of years in the system. They raved about him and things of that nature. He played, some throughout the season and looked pretty good when he got a chance. But at the end of the day, Cignetti wants somebody has a bunch of experience under center when it comes time for everything to kick off. And, that's just their philosophical approach. Now, will they ever break that and go away from that concept of going into the portal and grabbing a quarterback? Only time will tell. It does make it an interesting dynamic when you're talking about some of the recruits that are considering Indiana. That I'm sure that is something that is going to be pointed out pretty regularly to those kids at opposing schools about Indiana's philosophy there. But again, you're correct. We're going to get an idea of Tyler Cherry's availability in terms of where he is at, in terms of the injury, as well as adaptation back into the system. You got Grant Wilson, who is kind of the elder statesman now in the room. Kid from Old Dominion, was probably the third team backup last year. More than likely will be the backup this year. He does have playing experience because he played at Old Dominion. So that probably will get him the second string quarterback nod heading into the season. So, but again, you've got to have adequate depth there because you just never know what could happen. And we've seen some crazy things happen, especially at Indiana at the quarterback room over the years. You got to have at least 2 to 3 guys that you can put out there and feel like you can play with on any given Saturday. And that's going to be what Indiana's going to have to focus on this spring is the quarterback room, getting a lot of kids ready to play.
Yeah, absolutely, because they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is the bar where it is, and of course it's set to repeat what they did last year. I mean, the goal is to go 16-0, period. But that also raises things up a bit. Now, you're a target. You are the target. You have been the bunny for so long. You've been the rabbit for so long. Now you've got the target on your back by the big boys and the other guys. The other guys, well, they want to make a name. Can we knock off the reigning undefeated national champions? The big boys, hey, tired of this upstart Indiana crap. We run this place, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ohio State probably has the biggest bullseye on Indiana because of how things ended last year and them feeling that they had the better team when you look at it on paper. But, yeah, Indiana is going into a different mindset, as you said, with a big bullseye on the back of their jerseys every game that they play in. And this is where Cignetti, I think, has things under control and understands that dynamic because it all goes back to the structure of what they do and how they do it, the blueprint that he's talked about so adamantly since he's been here. It's all a controlled environment. So they tune the noise out pretty darn good. And they'll know that they're going to be the hunted. They'll know that they're not going to sneak up on anybody, but I don't think it's going to be an overly emphasized point when you talk about how Cignetti runs things and the structure that he tries to involve during the season and even right now. I mean, he's going to expect everybody's best and every day that they step on the practice field, and he'll let them know what he feels about their performance. I got a feeling, the first couple of days here, he's probably going to let them know a couple of times that they're not playing to the standard that they've set for how they want their program ran. So yeah, they're going to be the big boy on the block now. They're not the little guy in the corner trying to get into the lineup on the basketball court. They're now the number one choice, and they're going to have a big bullseye no matter who they play this coming season.
Well, they've won a Big Ten championship more recently than Ohio State, more recently than Michigan, more recently than anybody in the Big Ten, of course, because they won it last season. But Ohio State also hasn't had one since 2020 when they probably shouldn't even have been in that game, to be honest. I will argue that to the death. And it's not because it's Indiana, I don't care. I'm not getting into it, but hey, you know what? I'm going to pat myself. I never get the great Christmas gifts that you use because things that if something comes up that I think I need or want, I get it now.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting 6 damn months, but got a coffee mug warmer. And I'm like, I'm living large now, baby. Living large. But that would have been a great Christmas gift for someone to get you. But I'm like, why do I want to wait 9 months? No, hell no. I need one right now, man. Need one right now. But yeah. And do I sound any different to you? Got the Rodecaster hooked up, but I don't know if it's making a difference.
Yeah, I can tell the difference. I'm glad.
Well, now you say that now, but that's like I said. Oh, you didn't notice my hair? Oh yeah, it looks good.
No, I did. I just didn't know if it was just, the system making it better, because they keep improving these platforms that everyone uses with the audio and such. But I'm glad that you finally got it rocking and rolling.
Yeah, but here's the one thing is that you know how you can have sound effects and such.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot get to where I can hear them actually, but I think that they come across without question. Like when I'm very, very funny, I should have this. Like I should have had this earlier, but. Do you hear that?
I do not.
Whoops. Did you hear a rim shot or anything? Okay, so those aren't coming through. Don't know why. Anyway, I'm getting closer.
That's all you got to do is just keep pounding away a little bit every day, like they say. And hopefully,
hey, if Jay Gritty says it sounds better, it sounds better.
There you go.
So that's all that I've been going for. It's been driving me insane. But the opening day, baby. It's an exciting. Here's the funny thing, and again, it's not like we haven't talked about this, and it's not. I don't mean this to knock on the basketball program, but we're in this. Today starts the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, and most of the conversation has been around the start of Indiana football spring practice, people.
Yeah, it's times have changed in a short period of time.
Actually, that's great. It's not that I'm not saying it's great that Indiana basketball is not where the fans want it to be. I think that's going to come around sooner rather than later. But the fact that right now, if you're an Indiana football fan, there's no wondering. They are going to be a damn good football team. You're going to get to have another great freaking season. You're going to have mind-boggling, nation-watching games with Ohio State coming to Bloomington. You were made the team to win the national championship after it was over. That'll change because it'll be funny. Watch as we get closer to this season, nothing will happen. There's no practices, no games, but the picks for Texas and whatever will solidify. Just because people will just continue to think, well, yeah, because they start convincing themselves of last year how good Penn State was going to be, how good Clemson was going to be, how good Texas was going to be, because they have the second coming of Jesus Christ. Arch Manning.
That's right.
I think he kind of floats in to the huddle each time from heaven. He has like a light over him. And I'm surprised they even have to play their games this year and not just be handed the trophy and the Heisman and all that goes with it. Because as we get closer, those views will solidify. But once again, those views are half determined, in my opinion, on people still not being able to let go of the fact of you gotta get away from looking at the freaking name on the jersey. I don't care. Mm-hmm. We had Coach, I talked last year, Big Ten recruiting, spending, Iowa at the bottom. The only Big Ten team that didn't even crack $1 million on their entire spending for recruiting. Only team out of the Big Ten.
Wow.
Next in line, barely going over $1 million, Indiana. Mm-hmm. So again, all this crap that people talk that don't know what they're talking about is crap. I keep seeing references to Indiana. Look at how Indiana has gone, spent, and done. I'm like, whoa. Again, ignorance.
Yeah, right.
Ignorance. Indiana being, Indiana's got 26-year-old guys. Wrong. Once again, their team averaged it was under 4, but 3.8. Yeah. It's a plus 3.8, which means years, which means they averaged less than being seniors. It was juniors plus. But anyway,
the biggest excuse you've heard in this offseason now, which I have to chuckle at, is Indiana bought themselves a title. Well,
don't get me started on what's his name.
Everybody in the college football is on the same playing field. Indiana is just doing it better because of their ability to, project kids and
that only comes from pure ignorance. It truly does. If you know what you're talking about, you know the truth.
Right. Now, I think the biggest thing that Indiana has to do moving forward is sustain. They have to sustain what they've been able to accomplish over the last 2 years. There can't be a drop
question.
There can't be a drop off. And that's going to be the thing that's always going to be at the top, the forefront of every professional know-it-all out there is going to say, can Indiana sustain it? And like Ohio State can sustain it, or, all these other teams, they're always going to be compared to that. And, quite simply, the way Cignetti has done things since he's been here, I don't think there's any question they're going to put on a talented team, no matter who's under center or who's at linebacker. They're going to have really good players, and they're going to play their system and go lay it on the line. But yeah, it's going to be the biggest thing for me is, can they sustain it? Can they continue to do what they've done consistently? And, this is going to be their third quarterback to start the season that has not played under center at Indiana. And they've been really good on the first two that they, went out and got. So can they do it again with the third one with Josh Hoover? We'll see. That all starts today, and we're going to get a good indication as time goes on where he sits and in the system, and everything about him I like. Now, his former coach Sonny Dykes on one of the podcasts the other day kind of took some shots at him because
what did he say? I didn't hear it.
Well, he made comments that
I think Sonny Dykes is I'm not a fan of Sonny Dykes. Listening to him, I don't like listening to him on calls.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes point out the number of turnovers that Josh Hoover's made in his college starts, especially at TCU. And his comment was he's very prone to turn the ball over. So that will be the interesting dynamic. And we all saw that. We all saw that statistic. We all saw that aspect of it. But you have to look at why the turnovers were committed. Were there some that were forced? Sure. But was there some that they're forcing the ball downfield? Because
is he running for his life? There's just all kinds of. Did the receivers run the wrong routes? And Curt Cignetti got a pretty damn good track record with quarterbacks. So I'm going to leave it up to the Zen Master. If I was big bet, that's it. Hey, we got to take a break. Waiting in the wings. He's got his train warmed up. Dustin Schutte from Boilers on SI.
Hey, man, I got to run, too. I got to run.
All right,
so
Bobby,
you guys tonight.
Coach Griff, talk to you again next week. Dustin's got his train revved up, man. We got to head out of here before he crashes through the gate. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemoreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on The Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer.
Dave & Buster's Bloomington is the place to eat, drink, play, and watch. Enjoy half-price games every Sunday through Thursday, a new menu to dig into, and next-level upgrades like private game suites, the high-flying human crane that puts you in the game, our exclusive arena, and more. Only at Dave & Buster's Bloomington, 731 South College Mall Road.
Yes, sir. I've got to get a better train whistle. I'm working on that. Dustin Schutte from Boilers on SI joining us now. How are you, sir? You're muted. You got to unmute your mic. There we go. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jim. How are you doing?
Well, if you're doing great, then I'm doing great, my friend, because if I was any better, I'd be Dustin Schutte.
Well, I don't know about that, but hey, we got nice weather. We've got some Sweet 16 action tonight. So,
when are the nuptials? What's the countdown?
Oh gosh, the days. I don't know what the day total is, but
what's the date? How about that? You know that?
I do know that, May 30th.
May
so
30th.
Anyone who wants to do math right there.
So that's a Saturday, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
that's the week after the Indianapolis 500. So a very wise, shrewd move on your part.
I did. I interjected there to make sure that was the case. And so I have that previous weekend wide open.
Yeah, I was married once, and I got married in the month of February.
How did that work out? Was it?
And it was not. And it was not a destination wedding.
I bet that was very unpleasant.
Yeah. Well, it had to fit into my rodeo roping schedule.
Oh, yeah, sure didn't. Yep, that makes sense.
So the only other time would have been December, and like a 2-week window in December is like a late 2-week window in December, and then it was like a 2-week window in February, and it was like that. You got nothing. I got nothing for you after that, man. I got nothing. So
got to take advantage of those openings. Got to take advantage of those windows.
Funny days. I'm going to have to get the Atlanta Braves have a rich history of using train whistles, which were once the standard communication tool for steam locomotives. These whistles, powered by steam, could be heard from miles and were used to communicate with other train, track crews, and bystanders. The Braves logo, which has changed several times, includes elements that symbolize Native American roots, reflecting the team's unyielding will and readiness to achieve their goals. The Braves have had the moniker Braves since 1912 and have been a significant force in Major League Baseball. Odd that they have not faced such scrutiny like others have to remove that. Personally, I would love to hear anybody try to argue to me that is offensive. That is paying homage, first of all, to Native Americans. It's not offensive. I don't care if a Native American says that. It cannot be. And when you reference history, period, you can't offend anybody today when you're referencing somebody from something from 4,000 years ago.
Right.
I'm sorry. You can't take credit for 4,000 years ago.
Well,
that's my stumping for that.
At some point, they did take. There was some scrutiny, I think, when a lot of teams were being nudged to change their team name.
Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, they basically.
God bless. Please, if you're going to change your name, get a good one. Gee whiz. The hell's Guardians?
Yeah.
That's the worst name. That's one of the worst names in sports.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But they, the Braves they had like a conversation. I don't remember with what native tribe.
It's like Florida State.
And then they have a whole section of their stadium of Truist Park. When you get inside, is dedicated to Native American history. So they've done things to make sure that everything's. I don't want to say operating the way it should, but you understand what I'm saying. Like make sure that they're paying homage and yeah. Go ahead.
But let's be honest here. When we think of Atlanta, we think of Native Americans.
Well,
you're supposed to laugh. I mean, that's a joke, man. Where's are you kidding me? I got to supply my own laugh track. Come on,
man. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of those?
Well, I did.
You like how
I'm working on getting. I've had a Rodecaster Pro too for 3 or 4 years, but have used it. Not been able to get it to. With all of the different things that have to, when you're doing a show, there's a lot of stuff that has to, the mics have to be on the same wavelength on many different things. Your headphones. And yes, like yesterday, I was trying to use it, but I couldn't hear anything in playback. And I'm like, what the hell? There was 3 different areas that my headphones had to be synced to 3 different areas of and it's like, and you got to make sure you find all of those, but still messing with it, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't even know how that conversation got started.
Well, let me just say it's nice. I like how we there you go.
That's a good one too. Damn.
It's a long laugh.
Boy, drawing it out. Yeah, man, where was that? But I do have
also that.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah. So hey, we've got some great games today. I don't care who your team is. There's going to be great basketball. And I don't care who your team is. I mean that it doesn't matter because all 4 of these games, they should be freaking spectacular, bro.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really fun night of basketball. The matchups are intriguing. We haven't had this hasn't been a March Madness filled with a ton of upsets, but there's been some significant ones. So this is going to be, I don't know I think tomorrow's like all of them are, and this is what you get when you have everybody loves those first round upsets. You love to see the 13s beat the 4s. But when you get to this stage, this is when you want high quality basketball and the limited number of upsets.
Exactly. I had this conversation yesterday. I don't care. I mean, about Cinderella. It's not that I don't. Oh, wow. It's not. But then, I see a team like Wisconsin that got knocked out by a good High Point team.
Yeah, they are good.
That one, High Point almost doubled down on that. So, but and that's okay. Wisconsin was one of those good teams that got pushed to the wayside. But I don't think Wisconsin was going to be an Elite 8 and definitely not a Final Four team. So that's okay with that upset. I don't mind that. I don't want to see. Yeah, we want to see the best games, like you just said. I say it all the time. When you get to you don't want to see a Cinderella make it, so far, and then they just get waxed. They run out of steam. Well, I am glad. I just want quality tonight. We started with the Boilermakers, my friend, hosting.
Yep.
They're not a Cinderella team, but they're one of the most overachieving teams in the tournament right now. The Texas Longhorns, behind the tutelage of the great Sean Miller. But hey, they had to play their way in. So they've been playing since the play-in games. They've got the Boilers, and they have a lineup that can give the Boilers hell. But if Purdue is running at the efficiency that it has been running with Braden Smith, then they win. But this is a team that can Miami was one of those teams that I had them picked to beat Purdue because I thought that they could do what has to be done, slowing those guards down, and with Malik Renew in the middle. But it didn't happen. Ironically, Texas has Cam Heide on their team, who is on Purdue's last year.
Yeah, well, and to your point, like Miami did a really good job of giving Purdue trouble, especially on the defensive end. They had the size. Texas has the same level of size. Like Dalen Swain is a big wing. They've got the I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm just going to say Matas, the 7-footer who's been really good for them this season. Heide is a starter at the wing. He's a 6'7". They've got, I think, everybody in their starting lineup, and I think most of the guys in their rotation are 6'4" or taller, outside of Jordan Pope, who's 6'1". So they've got size, they've got length. They're a really skilled rebounding team. The one thing is, like, you look at their seed as an 11 seed. And what's interesting to me is they got a really favorable draw to get to this point. And it's not to say that they haven't, done what they're supposed to do, but beat NC State in the play-in game. Then you face off against an injured BYU team. Then in the next, I don't think Gonzaga was very good. I don't think Gonzaga was worthy of a 3 seed this year.
I always think Gonzaga's overrated because they always are.
I think there have been some years where they've been warranted to be up near the top. I don't mean
that they're not good, but they're overrated.
Yeah, I think there have been a handful of years when they've been really good and worthy of like a 1 or 2 seed. But this year was not, even though they only lost 3 games, like that loss to Portland.
They don't play anybody.
They don't. That's correct. And so, it's going to be a really interesting game. CJ Cox, Purdue's starting guard, is listed as questionable for tonight. He had that hyperextended knee in that game. I can't imagine he won't play, but is he going to be on a minute?
I mentioned him yesterday. When he went down, it looked like they were going to have to amputate his leg. I mean, this dude was screaming. I heard him say the F word like 10 times myself. And then he gets up and just walks off the court. I'm like,
well, he did have to be helped off.
Oh, no. I saw him walking off. He walked off on his own power. But, he's playing. He's fine. So that's not going to be an issue. And but they're going to need every bit of guard play that they can get. Fletcher Lawyer is going to have to be on. And he's been relatively consistent.
66% from 3 in these first 2 tournament games. And he shot 8.
Yeah, that's okay. That's not bad.
6 of 8, I think. Yeah, that's okay. 6 of 9.
The key is getting in front of Braden Smith. If you slow him down, he's the engine. If you let him go 70 miles an hour, they're going to get to their destination. But if you can slow him down to 55 and get in his way, now you're changing things because you make life difficult for Trey Kaufman-Wren, who's on the move, and they're very good. They're very in sync. They've been playing together for 1,000 years. And it goes. You have to disrupt that if you want to beat Purdue.
And I think the rebounding battle is going to be an important one too, because Purdue's at its best when it's out rebounding its opponents. It did not do that against Miami. It had like a 9-3 lead on the glass and then end up getting beat by 5 or 6 on the boards in that second round game. And they've got to be able to rebound the ball better, especially against a bigger team, eliminate those second chance points. They also have to keep Texas out of the paint. Texas is They averaged 36
Big
points
boys.
in the paint this year, and they are 9. I believe I did the math on this, but I don't have my notepad in front of me. I believe they're 9-3 in games when they score 40-plus points in the paint. So Purdue's going to have to shut that down, because one of the biggest Achilles heels of this team has been when teams can get in the paint, find be efficient in the paint, and then kick it out for open threes. That's what's been what cost them in games against Wisconsin, Illinois. So you've got to be able to shut that down. But, we'll see. I'm interested to see how, this Texas team is good, but they're 21-14. So they obviously have some major weaknesses on that
They
roster.
had to, they had to play their way in. Although the SEC got 10 teams in, how many do they have left? They can't have that many because the Big Ten's got 6.
And the Big 12's got 3. So the SEC they have Texas, they have Arkansas, Alabama, and Tennessee. So they got 4. They do have 4.
Yeah. Who was the SEC champion this year?
Was it Florida? Had to be Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And of course Iowa knocking them off, which fun to watch, man. Fun to watch. I don't think Iowa has enough to go forward, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I'm just looking forward to these games, man. And Purdue starts it off tonight. Yeah. They're the first game on the lineup with the schedule that begins at 7:10, and that is on CBS. Iowa and Nebraska tonight, unfortunately, 2 of the Big Ten's 6 teams going at it.
One gets eliminated.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Iowa. I think that I think so too. They expended a lot of energy. Nebraska played pretty well. They've got to get back to playing, but they hit that lull there at the end. But Arkansas and Arizona, this is the primetime game, but I don't know that it's going to be the best game. Every one of these games, just because Iowa and Nebraska is not major headline game, that could be just as good a game. Arkansas, Arizona, that should be freaking spectacular. Darius Acuff and crew. Yikes. That's going to be a dangerous game for Arizona, who's my pick to win it all. Then normally you take a step down in games because they figure, all right, it's going to be the 10 o'clock game. People aren't going to watch Illinois versus Houston.
Yeah.
That's going to matchup.
I think that has the potential to be the best game of the night, personally.
I mean, Houston is wicked good, and Illinois is kind of finding its stride right now.
Yeah, I think Houston is playing at an extremely high level. The way they defend, the way they rebound, they're just so fundamentally sound. And the fact that they get this game in Houston, that helps, right? I know they don't have a...
But I believe Iowa beat Florida in Tampa. So
that's true. And Miami beat Missouri in St. Louis.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe it's going the other way. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, Dustin Schutte from Boilers on SI with us. We're talking NCAA basketball as there are games coming up tonight. When does Purdue football start spring practice?
They've already started. They are 5 practices in, I believe. They started, then they took a week off for spring break, and now they're back into it right now. And then they'll have their spring game is scheduled for their spring showcase, quote unquote, is scheduled for April 11th, whatever that Saturday is.
I love that word. It sounds like a game
showcase showdown.
Like Price is Right. Yeah, exactly. We've got more coming up. Dustin Schutte back with it right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on The Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer.
Dave & Buster's Bloomington is the place to eat, drink, play, and watch. Enjoy half-price games every Sunday through Thursday, a new menu to dig into, and next-level upgrades like private game suites, the high-flying human crane that puts you in the game, our exclusive arena, and more. Only at Dave & Buster's Bloomington, 731 South College Mall Road.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday. Glad to have you along, and even happier to be here with you. Jim Coyle and Dustin Schutte from Boilers on SI joins us each week, and his Boilers, or not his Boilers, but the Boilers that he covers, are in the deals tonight, leading things off as they will take on a game Texas squad tomorrow. Dustin, boy, oh boy, the schedule doesn't exactly let up. We lead off with St. John's and Duke. And I've got St. John's upsetting Duke in this one. Rick Pitino has got this squad rolling. He's one of the best coaches in the history of the game, period. Then Alabama and Michigan. Wow, this is going to be a high-flying, high-scoring showdown. Alabama, the highest-scoring team in the country. Michigan, one of a very high-scoring team, but also, more importantly, a very efficiently high defensive team. So that's going to be a great one. Then you get Izzo and Hurley. Oh, yeah, there will no fireworks there. Can't imagine that. Michigan State and UConn. And then the night ends with Tennessee and Iowa State. Again, I love watching Iowa State play. They're like, I mean, it looks like they've got 8 guys on the court when they're playing defense. You're muted again.
One of these times I'll figure out technology. I was there to watch them play in that Kentucky game. And what a swing from the first half to the second half. Like they're like Michigan. They can go on a run in any given moment. I know they've had some struggles this season. They've had a few times when they've kind of let up, but they are a really good team. I wouldn't be surprised to see Iowa State in the Final Four. Michigan State, I tell you what, I think Michigan State's going to beat UConn on Friday. I haven't been overly impressed with the Huskies this season. And I know there's an Indiana tie there with Braylon Mullins. But yeah, I mean, hey, now here's the question. So
there are 10 kids from Indiana right now still playing in the Sweet 16. That's the second highest number behind the state of Texas, who has 16. But Texas is a state with 30 million people. Indiana has 6.8. And so
makes a little bit.
You got that going for you, which is nice.
It makes a little bit of a difference. This seems to be, I assume this is real news that Will Wade is going back to LSU.
Well, that rumor's been floating around for the last couple of days, which I'm like, why? Everybody is acting like they can't believe it. I'm like, What are you? What is? I just throw my head on my hands and I'm like, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you all? Why are you surprised at anything now? Especially with people like Will Wade of the strong ass offer during the FBI investigation before all this stuff busted loose.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that cracks me up. Pat McAfee really needs to get the governor of Louisiana back on. Did you happen to see when he had him on after their fiasco of firing the coach and then realizing they had to pay him $53 million and the governor, who doesn't know jack squat about the sports and the contracts, what now the AD he's not gonna have a hand in making this next hire. We gonna get us a good coach in here. We're not gonna have any more of these contracts where we gotta pay somebody $53 million to leave and da. Well, and they go out and get Lane Kiffin, and then now basketball. Now they go out and get a guy who was at their school, got involved in an FBI investigation for cheating, but let's go back out and get that guy. Yes.
Well, cheating runs rampant at LSU. It is
Say,
insane.
is there anything more LSU than bringing back the guy that was in an FBI investigation just a couple of years ago under his watch at LSU? That is the quintessential LSU. I'm sorry, but that's the state of Louisiana. And I'm not speaking out of school here. Do some history. That's Louisiana, baby.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but they do have probably two of the most unlikable people heading there. I mean, like, they just...
Does that include me?
Yeah, that includes you, yep.
Okay.
Two of the most unlikable people. And then, okay, so this is the question I was going to ask, too. Do we think Dusty May stays at Michigan? Or does he take one of those other... Does he entertain the idea of North Carolina?
Why? Why would he? I talked about this before you joined us, because all of these names that are now popping up, because it's North Carolina. Okay. Yep. How'd that work out for Mark Pope? He played there, won a national championship there. It's Kentucky. Yep. How'd that work out? Hubert Davis. How'd that work out? It doesn't matter where you are. I think Dusty May, if I'm wrong, took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four the same year San Diego State went to the Final Four. I don't care what school it is. Why would Dusty May leave? He's at one of the number one programs in the country. Tommy Lloyd also being mentioned. He's got the team I picked to win a national championship. He's not at Arizona State. He's not at San Jose State. He's at a school that has its own history and a place pretty damn nice to live. Why that is able to, that has the resources to win? Why would he leave that to go to North Carolina? What is about North Carolina that would pull him away? What would pull Dusty May about that? I don't see the draw.
I don't know. I'm just saying. This is why I asked the question and didn't say a definitive statement. But the one thing is that nothing in this world of coaching surprises me anymore. So, like, you had Lane Kiffin left in the middle of a playoff run. They were potentially playing for a national championship and decided to take another job.
It was bad timing. It was just bad timing. I understand that. Now, I do see going to LSU from Ole Miss as a huge difference. Even though, yes, you can still get there, I think that the deal is, and I understand his thinking, that he's going to be able to be more consistent at LSU, because obviously they'll do whatever the hell it takes to provide you the resources to win. They'll cheat, they'll steal, they'll do whatever. And I know that the instant response can be, but Ole Miss.
I was going to say Ole Miss would do that too.
I get that. It's a team he built, but he also knew he's been there for what? It was there for what, 6 years?
6 or 7 years, yeah.
So he saw how hard it was to get there that time. At LSU, it's something you could probably, be easier accomplished almost every year. At least be on that cusp every year, and that's just my opinion of what he saw. I didn't. I know it sucked, but it was just bad timing. I don't have a dog in the fight, so it's easy for me to say that. My daughter wasn't happy. I can tell you that.
Well, there were a lot of people not happy about that.
But it wasn't because, and it wasn't so much of the timing. It was simply because they were losing Lane Kiffin.
No, right.
See, the outcry would have come no matter what. It was the bad timing that really just exacerbated it all. And I understand that, but I'm sorry. If someone comes to you right now, okay, you're covering Purdue and they're going to the Final Four, but ESPN comes to you and hands you this offer that starts immediately and it pays you more. It gives you the opportunity to do what you want to do creatively, but we need you to start tomorrow.
Well, I can do what I want right now. So.
No. This is an offer that is basically a life-changing offer, and they present it to you. But we need to know what's your answer.
Yeah, I mean, I would entertain it. I don't.
No. We don't have time for entertainment. This is not a can show. I need an answer.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that I've turned down jobs that are higher paying.
I'm not asking you about other jobs. I'm asking you about this job that I'm offering you right now that will triple your salary, that will give you the exposure you've never dreamed of, and the opportunity to do things that you want to do how you want to do them. But I need to know right now. Do you want this job or not?
I'm going to say no.
You would. You're not being honest with me right now.
I'm telling you right now. If you were to say take my job,
turn that job down.
I've done it before. Yeah.
I'm not asking you what you've done before. We're talking about this. I'm tripling your salary. I'm giving you all of this, and you're going to you would turn that down. I'm not asking. This has nothing to do with other jobs. This is only about this. You would turn that down.
Based on my current situation, yes.
It doesn't matter what this. Again, you're mentioning things that I'm not asking about.
My current situation the current situation matters to me.
That's in your decision-making process. I don't need to know what your decision-making process is. I just need to know the decision.
Well, but that would play into my decision-making.
Well, that's for you to squabble with.
Okay.
Why you do it, I don't care. The employer doesn't care why you answer the way you answer. They just want the answer. So you're turning down the job that would have tripled your salary and given you exposure that you could have never dreamed of and allowed you to do things you could have never dreamed of doing in this business.
Do you know what love spells backwards? Evil.
Oh my God. Oh my God. With
more, I'm telling you right now, I'm doing everything I want to do right now and I love it. So I would not change at this current time. Now, at some point down the road, if 5 or 10 years and I got tired of it, yeah. But right now I am.
The whole world's gone crazy. Am I the only one around here?
Taking crazy pills.
Wanted to run, but here we go.
Am I the only one around here? The roll.
Has the whole world gone crazy? Well, there's one on there that they're bleeped out, but there's one that I accidentally didn't bleep, and I was afraid that it was going to play. But yeah, okay. So there, we've got it. The official rule. You turned the job down.
I turned the job down. Yep.
You turned it down. You stayed at Ole Miss, and LSU went on to hire me and paid me 3 times the salary. And I said, hell yes.
There you go. I
pulled. You know what I did? You remember when they were firing Ed Orgeron?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's different. If somebody asked me to stop working and was going to pay me, then yeah. If somebody said you have to stop working, but we'll pay you X amount of dollars, that's a different kind.
I'm so grateful of my time, LSU. That was my opportunity. You know, coaches got a shelf. Some coaches got 50 years. Some coaches got 12. Mine was 6. Good. I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Say, Coach, things are not going well. No shit. Ray Charles can see that, brother. And they were good. And Scott Woodward is a friend of mine today. Really, really, a lot of respect for the way they handled me.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
There you go.
I'm so grateful.
All right, I accidentally muted us, but yeah, there we go. That's the answer. Yep. Where's the check? Where you want me to sign it? Where's the door, baby?
Yeah,
that's one of the great. I love Ed Orgeron. Where's the check? Where do you want me to sign, man? Where's the door? I'm gone. Hell yeah. What we do? Hell, I'll carry the bags for the next head coach. I'll design his office for him.
It never gets old. Never gets old.
Man, I still can't believe you turned that job down. You could have told not told, would never suggest you tell the boss of the union anything, but you could have allowed or offered your other half to not even work. To be able to even go off on things. Hey, take on your own project. I've got it covered. I'm being paid 3 times, but you can't do that now because you turned that job down.
It down.
Turned it down. Hey, honey, you could have not had to work. You know that? I was going to give you the greatest wedding present ever and telling you that you don't even have to work anymore. I'm making enough money for you and me. But I decided to turn this job down, so you have to go back and you have to work. How would that conversation go?
Well, this is why I don't make decisions by myself instantaneously.
Well, I get that. I get that. Damn it!
This is what happened.
I didn't get my. I didn't get my way.
You wanted to prove your point?
Yes. Damn it.
I think that you could pretend I said yes.
No, it doesn't count. It's just I'm holding my breath and stomping away.
Well, I mean, but again,
I've got to take a break on top of that.
You take that break.
You're good to hang around, I hope.
Yeah. Yep.
Good. Dustin Schutte from Boilers on SI with me right now. If you're a Boiler fan, you should be giving him a follow because you got lots to follow right now, man. Hey, we'll talk about what's next for Boiler Ball after the guys that they've had for the last 10 years leave the roster. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on The Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer.
Dave & Buster's Bloomington is the place to eat, drink, play, and watch. Enjoy half-price games every Sunday through Thursday, a new menu to dig into, and next-level upgrades like private game suites, the high-flying human crane that puts you in the game, our exclusive arena, and more. Only at Dave & Buster's Bloomington, 731 South College Mall Road.
Beat Radio, it is Thursday. The NCAA tournament returns for week 2 this evening with a slate of outstanding games for our friends in the Bloomington area. Head out to Dave & Buster's for their March Madness specials. They've got 10 wings for $10. You get $5 domestic limeritas on the championship night. Thursdays, that's today, college night. Students get a free $10 power card with an ID. Tuesdays are for teachers. They also get that, and 15% off non-alcoholic food and beverages. Menu is surprisingly good for a place you'd go play games. Man, I can't believe it. TVs from the floor to the ceiling and so much more. 731 South College Mall Road in Bloomington. And if you need a car to get there, of course, stop by Andy Moore Honda. They've got great deals set up for you. Dustin, Schutte, when you're needing a new vehicle, I got you set up, brother.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
At Andy Moore Honda or Brent Davis Ford or Chevrolet. What do you need? Gotcha.
I'm gonna have to do some shopping. It's been a while since I bought a car.
Yeah.
So I have to look around and see what I want. Do I want an SUV? Do I want something for the mileage? You got a lot of options here to weigh.
Oh, dude, you're getting ready to be a married man. Isn't it a requirement to have a vehicle with room for stuff?
Yes, it is. But also, I travel a lot, and we already have one.
What the hell does that have?
We do have one SUV.
Yeah, but how big is it? These are not SUVs like the old days SUVs, unless it's a real SUV.
Well, I mean, it's a 2000.
I don't care what year it is. What is it?
I don't know off the top of my head.
You're
CRV.
like a politician. You're like CRV. A politician. Every answer to the question is an answer to a different question.
I'm not a crook.
Speaking of politicians, I bang him on the head all the time, but Tommy Tuberville, I'm like, is he just a flat out idiot? Because first, he started last year, a year ago, when Indiana had their success. And he was complaining about this and that, about it. He says, he used Indiana as an example and said, look at Indiana. They went out and bought themselves a football team. This is the first year when Curt Cignetti comes in. He's got 13 players from JMU. And all these other G5 guys they put together. But Tommy Tuberville, knowing everything, spouts off saying Indiana went out and bought themselves a football team, and that was his stumping point. Doesn't know what he's talking about. Now he's got a bill that he's sponsoring that's going to cure 80% of all the NIL problems. Well, first of all, you moron, the transfer portal has nothing to do with NIL.
Well, that's not true.
He knows the difference between NIL and rev share, though. But anyway, so his salvation, stop me if you've heard this before. Athletes get 5 years to play, 5 or 4, and they get 1 transfer. If they transfer again, they have to sit out. That's so unique. I've never heard of that before. So I'm like, and I was so dumbstruck at how could I have not thought of that?
Yeah. I mean,
his idea is to go back basically
to the way it was.
Put all the toothpaste back in the tube. It ain't happening, you idiot.
Yeah.
And my caveat when I posted that asking, does this also go for coaches?
Yeah, I mean, that would be that is the biggest problem, is that these coaches change jobs every single year.
It's not a problem. Like. They're allowed to do it because it's America. You can take another job. That has now, and there's the rub. Take another job. These athletes are not viewed as employees at the moment, so they can't use the after another job tagline, but you also can't be regulated on the money you're allowed to make in America if you're making it legally.
Right.
And it's a whole convoluted thing. On top of this, we've got the what's the arm that's supposed to make sure evaluate all the NIL, the clearinghouse.
Yeah, that's going to go by fast.
And I saw that some of the ones they're holding up are just worth a few $1,000s. Those should not even be looked at. Well, why are you wasting your time looking at something worth a couple of $1,000s? I mean, I'm serious. Who cares about a couple of $1,000s in this day and age?
I don't know. I don't get it either. One of the things that I would like to see implemented, and I don't understand why this has taken so long to get to this point. You got to have multi-year contracts. But
they have them now.
Multi-year though?
Yes. Brendan Sorsby. Okay. When he transferred to Texas Tech, see, that's another thing. I don't think a school should be allowed, or an agent, I don't care who it is, should be allowed to talk to a player if they are under any kind of an NIL contract. Period.
I agree with that.
If it's not expired, let's say it was expiring in 90 days. Okay, I'll give you a 90-day window. But if you're in the first year of a 2-year NIL deal you signed, no. You're in that freaking deal for 2 damn years. And not only that, schools can't talk to you. So that would be more along the lines of fixing tampering, first of all. Tommy Tuberville just needs to shut the hell up. He's just political grandstanding. But there's more of a problem. That's the issue, is tampering and guys and that deal. But Brendan Sorsby had a 2-year deal. He goes to Texas Tech because they give him way more money. Well, Cincinnati is now suing for that $1 million. And this happened before that. The guy from Washington was going to leave. He just signed a deal. So, yes, they have got to start holding these schools accountable. They've got to start holding these schools accountable for tampering. I so respect what Dabo Swinney did, and I'm going to give Curt Cignetti a little heat. I've done it before. He talked about his teams being tampered with. Name names, baby. Names.
I don't understand. This is something that
I know it's difficult, but
No.
Hey.
Well, I mean, Grant Leonard, the coach at Queens, when his team was playing in the ASUN championship game, said that an SEC assistant coach was at his game and, recruiting one of his players basically. And to me, Grant Leonard's a great dude. He was easy to talk with. He was a lot of fun to cover there for those couple of days in St. Louis. But I don't understand why you would call somebody out and then just don't name a name. I don't understand what the logic is behind that. Like, just say who it is. Tell us who it is.
Well,
give us a name, give us a school, or say a school. You don't have to name a person's name.
I think because all the other guy has to say was, I was just there scouting teams we could potentially play. I mean, you have to have, like Dabo Swinney did, the evidence, got the evidence, had the full story, conversations, the player cooperated, text messages, they've got it. Well, obviously, Cignetti, I don't know if he had proof or not. Maybe he didn't have the proof. But instead of saying something, get a little proof, then say something. How else is this stuff going to stop? I know, and Curt Cignetti doesn't want to be he's got so much attention on him right now. I get it. He doesn't want to be the lightning rod for something else.
Yeah.
He's already got a target on his back.
Yeah, but he's got the power to do that. Now he has the power to do that. If he would have done it after last season, people would have probably scoffed at him or, whatever they wanted to do. But now he has the power to do that. Now he can say,
I'm not going to disagree with you.
This is what is happening. This is who's doing it. This is how we need to fix it. He's reached that level at this point.
Not only does he have the power to do that, more importantly, his words are recognized by people so far deeper into this whole situation. Fans, coaches, administrators, media, people, it's like the ODF Hutton commercial. When Curt Cignetti talks, people listen. And yeah, because he has done it the right way on top of that. And so that's, yes. And that's, I said it before and I said it again and I will say it one more time. Name names. What was it in a Seinfeld episode? He named names.
I don't remember.
It's gotta be. I think it was. He named names.
Here's the problem to me with some of this, though, is like, how do you prevent an agent from talking with a kid's parents, a kid's high school coach, a kid's extended family, and then them relaying?
Rule against it, you can't.
I know, but even if there is a rule that says you can't contact the player, well, technically, I'm not contacting the player. So where's the limitation?
You have to set it up to where it's player or player representative of any kind.
Well, there you go. I don't disagree, but I don't know where you would draw the line.
Family members, representative of any kind, bam.
Coach, former coach.
If it's about this player, yeah. You cannot talk to anybody about this player during this time. He is under an NIL contract. Cannot talk to him.
I don't disagree.
Because there are so many other contracts that are set up just like that. In the NFL, for example, coach is coaching a team. He's under contract. You cannot reach out to their agent to talk to them about another job. It will get you. Bam.
Yeah, I don't understand why the NCAA can't enforce similar rules.
Well, that's easy, Dustin, because they can't enforce the ones they have now.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
But it's because they've got the problem is because the NCAA used to be a national organization and it itself still is. But unfortunately, the courts have fragmented them 50 ways.
Yeah.
By each state, because you got some fat ass judge in Alabama who is a booster of Alabama, allowing a damn guy who played in the NBA to play for Alabama, which has helped them get into the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
There's an ineligible player. Any other time, you're eliminated. Nope. And ironically, virtually all of this stuff is coming out of the SEC. They're the ones that are fighting all this. Ole Miss tampering, Tennessee filing the lawsuit, Vanderbilt filing the lawsuit. So it's, and then you have Greg Sankey. Do you know which one of these he spoke up on and said, I hope it doesn't pass? Only one.
I don't know.
The one involving basketball. Charles Bediako. Not a mom.
Oh, yeah.
Mom was the word on all of the other football things.
Yeah,
not a word.
Yeah.
But that to me makes him more evident as, hey, if it's football, hey, I'm not touching that baby. But basketball, well, we can act like we're going to do this because as he came out later and says, we need to make our own rules and show the world how to do it. Well, we've kind of seen how you do it in the SEC.
Yeah.
Ask your boy at Ole Miss right now. Ask all of these lawsuits that you've filed. Gee whiz. Nate Oates. Nate Oates has had a guy in the last 3 years, had one player deeply involved in a murder investigation. He's got a current player on felony drug charges and had another player that played in the NBA.
Yep.
He will win at all cost. And nothing is there's nobody putting any brakes on him. So, man, this has been this is why I love having you on. This has gone all kinds of directions. And if you got just a little bit more, stick around. Matt can't join us today. Matt Taylor. So,
all right, I got one more in me.
All right, we got one more segment out of him. We love it. Dustin Schutte's with us. Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Jim Coyle back with more after a little pause for the cause.
Dave & Buster's Bloomington is the place to eat, drink, play, and watch. Enjoy half-price games Sunday through Thursday, plus a new menu and next-level upgrades like private game suites and the high-flying human crane. Only at Dave & Buster's Bloomington on South College Mall Road.
Zach Browning here to tell you about an offer you simply can't pass up. If you're looking for the best coverage of Indiana football and basketball, which includes recruiting, weekly chats, podcasts, as well as access to the best national team out there, then look no further than thehoosier.com. The best part, it's just $1 for the first week. Oh, and did I mention that you get a full year of access to The Athletic when you sign up? You can't beat the coverage and you can't beat the deal. So head over to thehoosier.com today and sign up for just $1. It'll be the best decision you ever made.
You're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area? You need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on The Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer.
Bored, Bloomington? Dave & Buster's can fix that. Eat and drink your way through our new menu. Play half-price games every Sunday through Thursday. Watch your teams on the big screen and level it all up with the high-flying human crane. Private game suites and more, only at 731 South College Mall Road.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday. Baby, it is week 2 of the NCAA tournament. Jim Coyle with you as always. Just Dustin Schutte from Boilers on SI as the Boilers open things up tonight against the game Texas Longhorns. And we'll see if CJ Cox is going to be okay, which I assume that he will be. And if the Boilers can continue their run, they've been playing well. They play against Cam Heide, a former player from just a year ago who is now on the Texas roster, which is always ironic. But how do you see the game playing out tonight, Dustin?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I do think Texas's length is going to give Purdue some problems. Their ability to get into the paint is going to give Purdue's had some trouble with that, although they've been really good since the start of the Big Ten tournament. They've won 6 straight. They've been playing probably their best basketball of the season. I think Purdue's going to win this game, but it's not going to be easy. Like they're going to have to defend well. I'm interested to see how long CJ Cox can play. If he does play, what does his minutes look like? Is he restricted at all? Is he full go? What's the situation there? When he went down, Jakari Harris came in and played some really good defense for them. So, I think if Purdue's not going to shoot above 50% from the floor and from behind the 3-point line in every game this tournament. So, the big question is what happens when the shots aren't falling? Can you stay locked in and engaged on the defensive end? Can you continue to get second chance opportunities on the glass? And I think they're going to do that tonight. I don't know, you don't know how shots are going to fall or anything like that, but I do think Purdue's got a with the way Trey Cobbin-Red and Oscar Klepp have been playing recently, I think this puts them in a good spot to win this game. I think Texas has gotten fat and happy on some of their opponents recently. Like I said, they got a favorable matchup with Saunders being out for BYU. They got a favorable matchup because I thought Gonzaga was, while good, they were probably not Sweet 16 caliber good. So I think Purdue's the better team. I think while Texas can give them some problems, I think Purdue's going to be able to wear them down and then get to the Elite Eight. So, but I think it's going to be an interesting game. You got to play. You got to play well.
They're a half-point favorite, so they're expected to.
Yeah.
I don't like to say win easily in an NCAA tournament. Those games are usually not easy, right. But 8 points on how these games have gone. That's a comfortable win.
And Purdue's played really well on neutral floors. They're undefeated. They are 4, 6, 7, 8, 9-0, I believe, this season on neutral courts. I did some quick math in my head. So for whatever reason, they've been playing better on neutral courts than they did on their home court this season. I think I have a theory behind that, but we'll see. It's going to be this team is completely locked in right now, and that Elite Eight matchup. All it takes is one win to get to the Final Four, and I think Arizona is probably the more talented team. I think Arkansas could give them some trouble if the Razorbacks win, but in a one-game season to get to the Final Four, anything can happen. So I do think Purdue gets past tonight, and then we'll see them playing on Saturday for a chance to get to their second Final Four in the last 3 years.
And, I want to make sure I also mention that future Mr. Basketball – and I can easily predict that. Luke Ertl and Purdue commit playing for a state championship this weekend. He's got big things going on after a huge semi-state weekend. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. So he's looking to hang a banner. Maybe he can bring that to Mackey.
There you go. He's where's your laugh trap?
Oh, damn. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm never, that's why I need somebody to handle that stuff so I can, on the rare occasions that I'm funny, do I get this stupid, bumps. But I don't have a very good one. It's not good. That's bad. That's not a.
That sounds like that's Fred Flintstone driving his car into some sort of
or introducing somebody. It's not so good. But
that's going to be the first potentially. I don't think Mount Vernon has played in the state championship. They haven't won a state championship. I know that. So
I don't believe that either team has played for a state title before. Crown Point. I think Crown Point wins this game, but doesn't mean that doesn't mean jack. But I love the fact I had Kyle Nedrip on, and I love the fact that both of these 4A teams, not the teams that people thought were going to be there, and even though Mount Vernon is not far from Indianapolis, it's not an Indianapolis team. And then, of course, Crown Point way up there. So, love to see that. Creek got upset. So,
Crown Point, home of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, there you go. You still think that's going to happen?
I have no idea. I can't follow along enough. I got enough on my plate this month anyway. So I think it would be hilarious if it happens. I'm not going to root for the Bears, but I think it would be funny if they were
Bears.
And it would be talking about the financial impact on that portion of the state. That would be huge for them.
Forget about it. Okay, let's see. What else is going on in the sports world this weekend that we don't want to ignore? IndyCar racing returns. They're in Alabama, Birmingham.
You've got MLB opening.
Major League Baseball, baby. Yeah. Baseball is back. Who's your team?
Atlanta, the Braves.
I hate you. God dang it. Another one of those freaking Braves fans.
I thought you knew that from when you were talking earlier.
I'm sure.
No. Not because I told you, but because you brought it up with the train part earlier in this show. I thought you were connecting the dots there.
No, someone mentioned the Braves and a train whistle.
Oh, okay. I did not see that.
That's for the little Purdue engine that could deal that they drive.
I have to admit that I will admit fully that I'm a bandwagon fan. I didn't really have a baseball team when I
live down there. What Braves fan? Well,
this is
well, no, that's not the Braves became America's team. That's what they branded themselves all because they were one of those smart Ted Turner blasted out TBS. I remember as a kid when I first got cable, TBS, WGN, the Braves, the Cubs. Screw them both. I'm a Reds fan, baby. Get out of here with that crap.
Yeah, if Indiana had a team, I would be, but I was never really a fan of any team. So then I moved down to Atlanta, and it gets contagious down there. So,
I'm sure. Why? Well, I can't imagine. They've only won 3,000 league titles, man.
Right. So
they're back up to challenge or to lead it again this year over the Mets. I think they're favored to win their division, so that'll be fun to get started as it does. And it does. The great thing about the Central Division, which Indiana doesn't have a pro team like you mentioned. So the great thing about Indiana is you have got a big section of Reds fans, of Cardinals fans,
yep.
Cubs and White Sox fans. All four of those. Huge.
Yeah, even some Tigers fans.
Kyle Nedrip's a Tigers fan. Why is that?
I don't know. Isn't he from Missouri?
Well, see, there's a team in Fort Wayne, a minor league team.
The Tin Caps.
But are they the Pirates?
Yes.
Or it's a weird kind of a weird.
Wait, I could be wrong. I think they actually used to be associated with the San Diego Padres.
I was going to say, I was thinking it was something that was like not even close by, so it was a weird deal. Like Cincinnati's AAA team is in Louisville. They send the guys down.
Makes sense.
Oh, you already have a Cincinnati fan base because the Reds games were always played in Louisville. That wasn't the Cardinals games; it was the Reds games that were played in Louisville when I was growing up. In Evansville, you had the Cardinals games being played and still do. So there's a dividing line between those two franchises. But back in '83, the AAA team for the Cardinals was moved from Tennessee to Louisville, and that moved that Cardinals line over because was that a golden age for the St. Louis Cardinals. Andy Van Slyke, Vince Coleman, all of those guys, they all played in Louisville first, and then you'd see them up in St. Louis. So that was great. But yeah, Fort Wayne that area doesn't really have anything. So, but we've got this faction of four solid faction. I know more White Sox fans than I do Cubs fans. And that surprises me because, well, the Cubs have always sucked. White Sox have mostly sucked. So
correct. Yeah.
I guess mostly sucked is better than always sucked. And so I see, I can see why they went with the White Sox, although that's a lifelong of, our friend Rick Bozich, big time White Sox fan. But
that's torture. I'm surprised he's not a Reds fan. It's a lifelong
me too.
Well,
he's from the region.
Oh, is okay? I didn't know that. Did not know that.
People are there. I think most region people are White Sox fans.
It's right next. I mean, you don't have to go far to go to a White Sox game.
Yes, it's definitely on the south side. It's closer, but I don't think that has much to do with it.
You don't?
I think it's more because the Cubs always sucked and the White Sox didn't always suck.
Here's the thing.
Success.
It's so much cheaper and easier to get to a White Sox game than it is a Cubs game. There's probably a level of
from where?
Well, from anywhere. I mean, not in Chicago probably, but I'm saying from Indiana, from that area. I've gone to 3 or 4 White Sox games just because.
Toll roads?
I don't remember, but probably.
See, they'll have toll roads set up now too if they have that stadium, which is bull crap.
But you could
big tolls up there.
See, if I go to a Cubs game,
pyramids, man.
If I go to a Cubs game, I have to find a place to park my car, and then I usually have to take a train or a cab to the stadium. If I go to the White Sox, they have a parking lot right outside the stadium. Anybody can park there, $25. Easy in, easy out. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's
now they built their stadium facing the wrong direction. They could have it facing the Chicago skyline, which would be a great backdrop but they face it the other direction, which makes no sense to me. I'm sure it has something to do with the sun.
Yes, stadiums are all like virtually every football stadium in America is running north-south, and that is directly so you don't have the sun at either end.
In your face. Yep.
And with baseball, of course, it's a different setup. You can, I'm sitting here thinking, it is set up. It's east-west, but you can't really say that. But if you're at home plate looking straight down first base line, it's going due east. So I don't know why. You know, I was there I saw Michael Jordan take batting practice in the old Comiskey Park with my buddy Pete and his dad and brother.
I saw Derek Jeter's last game in White Sox Stadium on his farewell tour. And Max Scherzer's first complete game when he was with the Tigers.
That's big. That is big. I worked the first game in the new White Sox Stadium. Cecil Fielder was playing for them then, man. That was back in the day.
Cecil Fielder.
But who did you say your baseball team was? The Braves. The Braves. Yeah, they're picked to win their division, I think. Cincinnati, right now, they're down where they usually are. You got the Brewers, you got the Cubs, then the Reds, then the Cardinals and the Pirates. Think about the Reds, the Cardinals, the Pirates. Those used to all be franchises that others looked up to because of success. And every sport is changed, and it's all because of money. Yep. And that's the same with college. But with college, they're able to sometimes manipulate. Indiana able to, get around that. But I miss those days. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to watch the freaking Dodgers and the Yankees play every year.
No, I'm with you on that. And the Dodgers aren't going anywhere anytime soon. They're going to continue to build their super team unless they get a salary cap in place. But I'm a total agreement with you. Although the last World Series between them and Toronto was a lot of fun. My God, was that fun.
NBA, they're going to be adding teams, it looks like. And it looks to be Seattle getting basketball back, which is good.
That's big for them.
And then, of course, Las Vegas getting its fourth professional sports team. But hey, man, it was an absolute blast today with you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Make sure you're giving Dustin a follow and all of his content at Boilers on SI, coverage of the Big Ten teams playing in the remaining of the tournament. Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Enjoy the games.
All right, you too, buddy. And big thanks to each and every one of you as well. We're back again to do it tomorrow. Thanks to Coach. And we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.